Okay everybody, welcome to the channel, and today I'm going to show you a mission setup for Storm Above the Reich. Now I have everything laid out on the table here. I have my Staffel log here, I have my mission setup card here, and we have one of the two boards that we're going to use. We're not sure which one yet because we're going to roll for that. Our different attack cards, the fighter damage chits, and the bomber damage chits here. And then I have the off-map panel here, which controls the turn track, the escort display, and the fate box over here. I have the escorts here, and then I have my fighters here, and some Italian fighters, the Focke-Wulfs here. The different playing pieces that we're going to use for the game are blue height boxes here. So the first thing we do is establish what map and what season we're going to do. So we have a variety of seasons here as we go down the map, and each one has different length. This is 6, 10, 10, 10, 6, and then 6 missions down here. So I'm just going to start at the very top. I'm going to start with the 1943 early campaign, which is 6 missions here. The campaign starts with 4 experts, and like I said, 6 missions are involved in it. So we'll fill that in on our Staffel log. We'll have mission number 1, early 1943. So we have a die roll of 2. 2d8 is map number 6. So our map formation is number 6. It's this map that we have right here. Now most of this campaign is that map. If you roll a 9 or 10, you use the other side, which is map number 5. So with the map established, now we want to find out if we're going to do an inbound, near target, or outbound. And we rolled an 8. 5 to 8 is outbound mission. So again, put map number 6, outbound. An 8, so we have an outbound mission, which we write over here in our Staffel log. And the next thing we want to do is find out how many OP markers we're gonna get. Rolled a 9. Oh, one more would have been nice, but a 9, we have 6 of those. So those we have to spend right away. We mark our 6 on our outbound. Now we flip our mission setup over to this side, and we can see the cost of our aircraft. Now if you look here, the Focke-Wulf is 1 OP point. And you can attach other things to it which cost OP points down here. You can also take auxiliary aircraft, such as this Italian craft here, aircraft, and that's 1 OP for 2, so you get twice as many. The same way with the BF-110s and the JU-88s. Now, for the early 1943 game, we can only take the Focke-Wulfs and the MC-202s. We can't take any of these because these BF-110s come in 1943 mid to late, and the JU-88s come in 1943 late to 1944 early. But the disadvantage of using these guys, they don't hit as hard, you don't get as many hits, plus you get no experience points for them. And if they do crash or die, you actually subtract 1 off of your experience points. So I'm just going to take 6 of these. And here are my 6 fighters that I'm taking. And these 4 that are brown are going to be the ones that are going to have experience to them, because remember that I can start with 4 that have experience or expert. So we're going to attach some additional things that they can do, each pilot can do. These are going to be the novice or green pilots here. Now with our pilots established, we go back to our mission setup and we're going to figure out what escorts we're going to get here. So we have an outbound target, and we're going to roll a die to see which one we get here. And we get a 1, which is a light S. So we come down here, we see that S is Spitfire, which are the worst ones to get. They are so tough. And light means that there's 5 escort markers. So what I do here is I get my 7 escort Spitfire markers, and I shuffle them around. I'm just going to take 2 of them random out. Now I'm not going to look at the backs because the backs tell how many fighters are in each squadron. So I'm going to take these and come over here to my escort display. So on my escort display here, what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to roll the die roll. Now you can wait until you actually are playing the game where you come to the escort and do this all to be surprised about it, but I like to do it now here because I know the Spitfires are coming in. And depending on the dice roll, it's going to tell you where you put it in these below trailing, above trailing, or forward positions here. So we'll roll a die here. And we have a 7 to 6 to 8, so 7 falls in that. So we have 2 forward, 3 below. So I take 2 of these, put them in the forward, put 3 of them below, which is what we want. Above trailing, they can see everything, and they always come into whatever you roll, they're going to come into the game. Here you have a chance of them going to different spots. So when an aircraft gets in the above trailing, that kind of hurts you on the game. So we'll show you more about that when we get to it. So now for the rest of the setup, we're going to refer to a different part, which is this here, the situation manual. So for the situation manual, I'm looking for map number 6, outbound, which is right here. This is map number 6, outbound. And these different positions here represent damage that has already accumulated on the bombers. So we're going to roll a die and we're going to see where we place our damage markers on this. And we rolled a 10. So we actually have 4 bombers that have damage. So from that, I draw from the bomber damage chits, and we'll put one is going to go there. One is going to go on this bomber. One is going to go on that bomber. And one is going to go on this bomber right here. So we have 4 damages coming across here. And we're going to go ahead and roll on this. So what you do is, this shows wing. So if you roll an 8 or more, this is actually going to be a fallen aircraft. And I rolled an 8 exactly. So this actually gets replaced by a fallen bomber. That gives -1, which is an advantage for us, to this whole area right here. And the chit goes back into the cup. This is 8 on the wing here, so let's see if we can get lucky again. And we rolled a 2, so because it's lower than the 8, we flip it on over, and there's 4 wing damage done to this aircraft. Now when we get 10 damage done to an aircraft, it will be destroyed. So this is 7 for engine, so let's see if we can roll above a 7. And we get a 6 just below it. So no damage to that. And this one is 10 to the fuselage, and this mark right here means that that will get destroyed if we roll a 10 or above. So we can only roll a 10, so let's see. And we rolled a 4, so no destruction, but that will get flipped over to a 2. Okay, so this is the damage that we start out with on the board. And the next thing is we're going to see where it's anchored. So depending on where it's anchored, it could add plus 2 attacks to our fighter. So we're hoping that it doesn't get anchored, but we'll see. So we'll roll a die here, and we get a 7. So a 5, so anchored, a 5 to 10 is none. That means that we don't have any anchor position, so none of these plus anchor flak will be in effect for this game. Then the last thing we want to do is find out where the sun is going to be. So the sun can also be in different areas here. So we're going to go ahead and roll for the sun. And we have a 6 for the sun. So 6 to 8 for the sun is high flank right there. So we're going to go ahead and place our sun marker in the high flank. So that means that anybody that comes out of this box here to attack our squadron is going to get a sun benefit, coming out of the sun benefit. So the next thing we want to do is we want to find out how many tactical points we get, and these can be used to move the fighters around for other benefits in the advanced game. Roll for that, and we get a 4. So 3 to 4 is 2 tactical points. So we're going to move our tactical points right up there to 2. which is not a lot actually. The next thing we're going to do is see how long the game is. So we're going to roll for our flight limit. And we rolled a 10. So a 10 for the flight limit is 10 on our mission turn. So our flight limit goes all the way up here to 10. So we have 10 turns in this mission, if it lasts that long, if our fighters can make it that long. Now, the one other thing that I forgot to do back on this chart is, you remember that we had when the escorts would arrive. Now here we ended up with a very bad roll, so we ended up with the Spitfires and a light squadron, but they are there for the entire game. Here they would be only in turn 3 is when they would arrive, and turn 5 on this one when they arrived. If we would have rolled a 9 or 10, we would have had none. So over here, we need to put escort arrives. Well, we just put it right at number 1 here. We just put escorts arrive at number 1 right there, and that's where they come in. So the last thing left to do is to give our pilots some of these abilities that they could use. Now, there are 3 different expert skills that they could have. They could have flyer, which is F, quick, which is Q, and wily, which is W. Wily, instead of a dogfight, you return or exit escorts. So the nice thing about this is that you get out of dogfights with the escorts, so this could save you some planes. The quick mode, you can change at any time. We'll see that later in the game when we draw the cards for damage to our aircraft. And the flyer, when you select 2 proximity chits and you keep 1, this is whenever flyers are grouped together in a square. And we always want flyers to be grouped together because that will give us our best attack ratio. So generally the pilots earn these by experience points. After they get 5 experience points, they get these expert skills here. But because we start out with 4 in expert skills, we're going to go ahead and give them that. So Doppler here, I'm going to give him the flyer. So we're going to give him the flyer skill. And Haas, we're going to give him the quick skill so that he can change mode. Same way with Griswold, we're going to give him the quick skill also. Flad, we're going to give him the wily, the W, so that he can get us out of dogfights, hopefully, if we get into dogfights. So with that, we're set to begin round 1 of our game. And we'll do that in the next video. I hope you're along. If you enjoyed this, please do give a like and subscribe to the channel so that you get notification when the next video. I will be playing out at least a couple campaigns here, at least a couple seasons of this game. And the first season, the 43 early, I'm going to start out with just the basic rules. The next season, we'll add in a couple of the advanced rules and option rules and play this game through. So I hope you're along for the ride. Thanks for watching.